USF is the team that is getting a new $340 million stadium. What? USF? But, you know, I will tell you, you take one look at this picture and you're like, man, it looks worth it. There it is for you. I'll give you the full screen view right here. Let's see if I can't zoom in on this bad boy. Yeah, there it is. That is the proposed new stadium for the Bulls. The Board of Trustees has approved plans for the $340 million on-campus stadium, which seats 35,000 people. It's set to open by 2026. That is extremely impressive. Again, I do like, actually, the fact that it seats 35,000. I actually thought it would be a little bit more because USF has a student body of, I believe, over 40,000. I think they almost rival Florida State in their student body. I got the article pulled up here. On Tuesday, they approved, the Board of Trustees approved $200 million in debt to fund construction of a 35,000-seat venue that will total $340 million in costs. The additional $140 million is coming from donations, the university's capital improvement trust fund, and the sale of broadband equipment and licenses. So their old stadium, Raymond James Stadium, that opened in 1998. So I guess you could say they are due for an upgrade potentially. But USF has played its home games at Tampa Bay Buccaneers home venue, which sits more than 10 miles away from the school's campus. So I think that was probably a big deal in all of these talks, is to get something physical on campus. I'm sure it was a big point of discussion because, A, it'd be annoying to, just the logistics of playing at a pro venue for all your home games would be tough, to say in the least. Also, getting fans out there, right? It's not on campus. It's not immediately present for them. And at some point, it's like, that's the Bucs stadium. It's not really our own. So I'm sure they wanted to have that ownership of that. Now, USF has almost 50,000 students. I don't know if they're just not fans of football over there at USF, but I would assume if you got 50,000 students, filling up a 35,000-seat stadium I don't think it'd be too difficult. I know not every kid that goes to school is just a football fanatic, but you've got alumni, you've got parents, you've got random fans, local community members on top of all of that. Maybe they just want to have a loud environment. They want to keep that thing packed. It looks like if you look in the back end zones over there, I would assume there's probably some standing room on the lawn, would be just my guess right off the bat. Looks like a big video board. Very similar setup to Baylor, actually, the stadium we were just looking at. But yeah, that's actually kind of a surprising number to me. They have nearly 50,000 students. That's more than Florida State, which in 2022 had around 45,000. Did not realize the school was that freaking big. That's pretty wild. This stadium, I believe, is also potentially, it's being talked about maybe an attempt at them getting into a Power 5 conference like the Big 12, which is annexing UCF, Central Florida, not to be confused with Southern Florida. So this stadium might also be a bid for them to try and join up and get into a larger conference. Only time will tell as that conference and others continue to expand. But USF hasn't made a bowl game, I think, since 2018. So, you can build all the stadiums you want. If you're not going to compete at the level that warrants moving to a Power 5 conference, sorry to say, pal, I don't think you're getting there. But very sweet move from the Bulls. They're certainly going to be spending a lot of money. The plan is that the on-campus stadium will be hosting football games by 2026. I don't believe I mentioned that earlier. But pretty sweet stadium. That's kind of it.